Okay, so we're recording. So you want to go cold open in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey Swift, you smell something?
Nah, what you smell?
I think somebody's cooking something. Yeah, somebody's definitely cooking.
Cooking in the kitchen?
I think somebody's in the kitchen cooking. Yeah.
Must be. I think it might. I think it must be Dan Morgan then, because
Dan was definitely cooking this
he
weekend.
was he was definitely cooking this weekend.
I mean, I was a little concerned, but now I'm happy. But
I'm feeling
that's
good. It
good.
smells good.
It
It
smells
feels good.
good.
It smells good.
All
Let's
right,
dive into it.
your boys from Panther Pedigree are ready to get this going. Here's our NFL Draft Recap 2025. Let's ride.
Let's do it.
Man, that Dan Morgan was definitely cooking, man. But yeah, no, as we said from the cold open, it was crazy. Carolina Panthers did their thing. The draft came and went. We got all of our selections. We're gonna go over that. But I'm gonna tell you, man, the news of the draft was not necessarily the Panthers. What do you think about that Shedeur Sanders slide?
Shoot. I mean, I think he took everyone by storm. Put everyone through a whirlwind. I think a lot of us were surprised. He didn't go a lot sooner than he did. Um, yeah, caught me off guard. I was definitely shocked.
It was tough to watch. I mean, I kind of pay attention to social media, and I don't want to get into the controversial aspect of it. But I mean, for a guy that was mocked in most mock drafts to go be a mid to late first rounder at I mean, the latest I saw him take him was a second round. For him to go pick 144 to the Cleveland Browns, to the team that we thought he was going to go anyway. I mean, did Cleveland Browns get a good deal, or was this just a slap in the face?
Um, I mean, a little bit of both, honestly. I think a slap in the face for Shedeur and a steal for the Browns. I mean,
Mega steal, man.
yeah, I mean, they got a guy, Dylan Gabriel, my Ducks, got him like a round or two before him.
Yeah.
And actually, the grade for that was a lot lower um, than getting Shedeur. A steal for them because, I mean, Shedeur is a first, second round talent.
I thought so
And
too, man.
a slap to the face to Shedeur because, that was his expectations.
Yeah.
I think we all expected at least second round at the worst.
Well, it was funny because one of the memes I saw was from Bleacher Report. They said that a first round pick would have earned about $45 million over that first rookie contract. Do you know the math for where he was picked at 144?
No, I don't.
$4 million. $41 million
That's
differential.
so he had $40 million difference.
$41 million differential. If he had picked him round one, he would have been guaranteed money would have been about $45 million. And then where he was picked is $4 million. So it's again, not to get into it. I'm not a Cleveland Browns fan. I just happen to, I think they mentioned Shedeur Sanders' name every time the Raiders and the Browns were on the clock. And anytime a team came up that might even be a little quarterback needy. But it was interesting. But we
So
are here. Go
he
ahead.
got Luka. He got Luka Doncic.
He really got low.
I mean, that's what it sounds a whole lot like that situation. But that's enough for
Listen,
another time.
listen. That's a sport entirely. But I mean, listen. I hear you. I hear you. So let's talk about it. So the Panthers draft came and went. So we were going back and we were thinking about doing a episode each night of the draft, but it kind of came a little bit too much for our schedule, and that was our promise to try to not overload ourselves. But next year we will. I'm looking to go live. I'm actually hoping that you might be ready to go live for a scheduled release show. I think I'm going to try to set myself up so I can do a scheduled release show with you because it'll be fun doing that live and seeing if we can get some of our fans who are starting to add on. Speaking of that, if you haven't already liked and subscribed, right down there is our link. If you click on it, it'll automatically subscribe you. It's a little light blue click to subscribe link. So please subscribe. Please like our video, and please tell us what's your favorite pick of this draft. But back to the regular scheduled programming. So first round. So if I'm not mistaken, it went Cam Ward. Then it went a trade. The Jacksonville Jaguars traded up, gave Cleveland a bit of a haul, for the second pick, and your boy Travis Hunter got picked up.
Yeah, he did. He's going back home.
He's
I
going,
believe he's
yeah,
from
because
Central
he's
Florida.
from, he's from Central Florida. I was going to try to be cool and tell you exactly what the place where he's from, because I remembered it for half a second and then my age caught up to me and I forgot. But Travis Hunter, they traded up to get Travis Hunter. Abdul Carter went to the Giants, so now that Giant front four is freaking crazy. Don't even want to talk about that right now. The Patriots went offensive lineman, not the one that we mocked, but they went offensive lineman Will Campbell. Then the Browns went Mason Graham. Now that's a pick that they got from Jacksonville along with a bunch of other stuff. Then Ashton Genty, who I think has been wide tied to the Raiders, went next. Armand Minbu was a tackle that we tied to the New England Patriots. And then that he went to the New York Jets, I'm sorry. And then pick 8 came. So D, give me a little bit of your mindset. Like, what were you thinking when pick 8 hit?
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie, I had no emotion. I was honestly just trying to I was on FaceTime with Makai, for you guys who don't know, my younger brother. I don't know, I was just sitting there just processing. I don't really know how I felt. Obviously in the last episode, if you guys watched it or might not watched it, I wasn't too crazy on the idea of getting Ted McMillan. I don't know, I wouldn't my idea
T-Mac. His
T
mom
Mac.
said she named him Tetroa. And she doesn't mind T-Mac. She doesn't mind Tetro, obviously. And then he has a nickname that he goes by,
Nalo.
negative Nalo. There you go. Or Nalo will work as well, but it's not Tet.
Nalo. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
didn't mean to correct you.
No, no, not at all. Um, I wasn't I wasn't crazy about him.
No,
I usually my vision of a top 10 receiver is like a generational guy, like guys
right.
who are highly talked about, like
Yeah,
your Marvin Harrison, your Malik Neighbors,
yeah,
Jamar Chase. Um, I'm Justin Jefferson didn't go that late, or he
yeah,
went mid first round, but
yeah,
those kind of guys who, you know what I mean, like the media is talking about, even right now, Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State.
yeah,
Um, but it's over the weekend. I gave it some time. It
yeah.
started to grow on me a little bit.
Yeah, no, I think that was the advantage because I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna own it. Like I'm that guy. So as you guys get to know me, I'm gonna make my takes, and if I'm wrong, I'm gonna tell you I'm wrong. I'll be the first one, and maybe you guys might tell me I'm wrong first, depending on our comment activity is comment, please. But I did say that I was gonna turn the TV off if it was 10. And
Yeah,
I lied. I didn't turn it off. I immediately do what
same.
I normally do is I overdose in footage. So I immediately pulled up my phone right here, pulled up my phone, and I started like literally just tubing as many tech videos as I could. And I'll tell you, he's a freakish talent. He is freaky. I'm not gonna lie. He is. And then I think the one comment I made to you when we finally talked about it was we've always had this receiver in our division, whether it was Michael Thomas, whether it was Marcus Colston, whether it's Mike Evans, whether it's Julio Jones, those guys were all, but we never had the big rangy receiver. And the times that we did it, we struck out on. I mean, we had like a year and a half from Kelvin Benjamin. Delvin Funchess never worked out. Terrace Marshall never worked out. I mean, I can go all the way back to, even before that. And our rangy receivers, the guys that we take a shot on, didn't really work out. Larry Colbert, but I don't think he was meant to be rangy. So finally, we may have a guy that may wreak havoc on the division for the next at least 5 years because we'll have the 5th-year rookie option. Hopefully longer than that. And I started to warm up to it, right? Like, and I don't want to overspeak it. And as you can see, we posted, we have some of our own cards here. So, and that's the other thing. The last time we picked a receiver, which was last year, Xavier Legette benefited off of having one splash year production. And prior to that, he had a hard time breaking the South Carolina lineup. Now, when you look at Tet in 2003 went for 90 receptions for 1,400 yards, 15.6 average per with 10 touchdowns. And in 2004, less receptions for just under less yards, but more yards per reception and a couple touchdowns less. But again, he's averaging over 100 yards a game. And this past year, he was a consensus All-American. So now I'm sitting there going, okay, at least this guy's got some, he's got some 2 years of production, right? And then even the year before, I mean, he almost went for 700, a little over 700. So again, you're not talking about a guy that's unfamiliar with production. Then I started looking at video, and see the video that comes up is a video where he's a freshman in college. And he says that, and he's at a restaurant, he's eating, and somebody asked him, and they set him up. They hope he doesn't talk person anymore, because they asked him about, if you watch his film, and he's like, I don't like watching film. I do my film with my team, but I don't do it on my own. What are your thoughts? Like, I mean, like I threw a lot at you, but what are you thinking with all that?
Oh yeah, I mean, so I guess I'll go back to the pros. Um, he's a big rangy receiver. I think a lot of the times that is the risk. I'm trying to think of like the past receivers we've brought into Carolina,
Yeah,
opposed to the other receivers that have worked out within the
yeah,
division. Um, so I mean, it's it's risky in a sense because we just don't seem to have the best luck with getting big receivers and they pan out.
facts, facts.
Um, so risky from that point of view is what I mean by that.
Yeah,
But he has a lot of potential. Big frame. He
yes,
catches everything. You throw it in his radius, he's gonna
yeah,
get it. He can jump out of the gym.
yeah.
Not super fast. I think he ran like a 4.5.
Like, I think they
Um,
marked him at 4.53, but the range was like 4.5 to like 4.59.
yeah,
So
right. So not slow, but
yeah.
kind of mediocre speed.
Oh, I have his pro day right
Uh,
here. They had one of the lower times is 4.48. That's what they had him. So
yeah, it's not too bad. It's not
no,
too bad.
no.
Um, I like the upside. Um,
Yeah,
what would I have taken him at 8? I don't know, but um, Bryce was really big on him, which
yeah,
kind of made me feel a little bit better about it. Micah
yeah. That was a cool
Parsons
story.
was live during the draft, and he was
Lost
a
his mind.
lost his mind over it. Said he wanted to pair him up with his boy CD over there in Dallas. So a lot of guys were big on it. So I'm trying to grow on it a little bit. It's just like I got to see it to believe it, but I'm not completely hating. As a receiver myself, he can ball, and I've watched a lot more tape over the weekend, and
Yeah.
Duke can do his thing. So
Yeah, no, again, I mean, and you'll see I'm flashing. I went kind of heavy on Ted information. I mean, he's got some real cool measurables, man. He's a big frame pass catcher, traditional NFL size, weight and arm length, got the 10-inch hands, smooth, fluid, moving athlete for his size. I mean, he played like lots of sports. He's a avid volleyball player. He played shortstop and third base in baseball. I mean, he is a guy, right? Like, he's a guy, played basketball. He's got an incredible catch radius, win contested catches, and mismatch playmaker due to alignment and positional versatility. I mean, the man, he really is a weapon. They become a couple of their comments against him was his route tempo needs a more urgency at the snap. Route salesmanship is a little inconsistent play to play. So basically, what they're saying is if he knew he wasn't getting the ball, if the play wasn't heading his way, he was taking the play off. But then there was another cool thing that came up with PF with Trevor Sikkema, that a lot of college coaches now are really telling these guys, like, if the play's not coming your way, like, don't kill yourself out there. And I'm like,
exactly, that
I'm
was my
six to
next.
one. Yeah, 6 to 1 half dozen the other of that one. I'm like, okay, I'm like, I hate the messaging, but you're doing these guys a disservice when they go down the film. But so, I mean, my feedback initially, I mean, it was horrible. Like, I mean, I don't think I messaged you right away, Swift. I mean, I think it took a little bit to even acknowledge that, that the pick had happened. Because I mean, like, man, we need defense bad. But then then I started reading, like, hold on, we still have like 8 more picks. And then, I mean, then, Dan can cook like he did, and then move around and go get some of these, other talents. Ah, I'm going to tell you, I'm like, I mean, we're going to talk about it, but I'm not upset with what I saw. Like, it just took me. This took me initially kind of by size. I'm not going to tell you, like, I'm not going to lie to you, but I will also tell you, I guess the conversation coming out of Carolina over the 24 hours prior to Thursday, so Wednesday into Thursday, was that this was going to be the pick. That if he was there, this would be the pick. And so, I mean, for me, for them to be professional, to have that confidence in the player that we're trying to, make another franchise cornerstone. I'm okay. I'm okay with it, right? Like I'm okay that you had that much confidence in that much conviction is the word I'm looking for. It's just that, I mean, as sitting here in my chair, like it was tough. Like, but I mean, this is a quick way to figure out if Bryce is going to be able to thrive in this league, is giving him another weapon. And then one of the things you mentioned, and now it forces X back into that Z, that is his natural position, which I think, I mean, him playing a role that's better suited for him is going to work out for everybody. Do you have any
Right.
last pieces of feedback on this before we move on to our next picks?
No, that's about it. I think you hit on it. Just I know people are talking about his tempo through his routes.
Yeah.
Um, but actually, sometimes it honestly sometimes works out really good. Something I really do actually like about him is
Yep.
reading the zones.
Yes.
Some guys will just go out into routes and just run the routes. They don't really understand coverages, but um he analyzes zones. He's really good at reading zones and finds a soft spot.
Yeah.
Slows down the route depending on where defenders are, or
Yeah.
speeds up. So I know he gets kind of a little bit of criticism on that, but I actually do
Yeah.
appreciate that because sometimes
It's
you
games.
can't
It's
just necessarily
gamesmanship.
run. Yeah, you can't just run necessarily. Sometimes run the route that's given.
Yeah.
You run the route obviously, but you got to
You run
time
at
it
different
because
tempos and different paces to try to fool up to trick up the D. I love it. I mean, and
right.
when you present it like that, and I also heard it presented by somebody else, it made a lot of sense to me, right? Like I'm like, okay, so it's a game within the game, right? It's the new level of playing with the D back, playing with the D back's mind. So yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was
So
I highlighted that because I heard about it from one of the analysts, but also that was actually something that I was working on myself this
yeah,
past season over at
yeah,
Westfield. So
I love it. I love it. So now we get to the second round, but I want to tell a quick story about this 51 pick. So the Panthers traded the 54, the 74, the 111, and the 230 picks with Denver in exchange for the 51st, the 85th, the 122nd, and the 208th pick. The deal still left them with 9 picks at this point, and with that 51st pick out of the second round, we drafted Nick Scorton. What do you think, sir?
this one was a bit of a surprise. Prior to my knowledge of the player, I was for sure we were going to get Mike Green because for a while he was at pretty much at this point of the pick he
Yeah,
was falling.
yeah,
He was like the top guy on the board. He was like the best rated. He was graded like a 90
yep,
edge rusher. So this one caught me a little off guard. But once I got to know a little bit about
yeah,
him, his size,
yep,
and his the way he gets around, his bend as well as the next guy we're going to get into. His bend is really good, and he's got a really good spin move. Um, really powerful. I got
absolutely,
excited, and
yeah.
being a second rounder, um, I think this is a I think this is a good spot. I think analysts were also saying he was honestly a first round pick too. He was good enough to be a first round pick. So
Right. And I mean, the other thing is that they keep saying that you got to look at his 2003 footage, not necessarily just his 2004. 2004 was a little bit of a different system. And he was, but the 2003, the 2023, I said 2003 and 2004, 2023 and 2024 footage, sorry. He was dominant. He was pure dominant. And he's a freak. Like, and like you see our notes, is Scorton is known for powerful frame and his effective moveset, including a spin move and a two-handed chop. And I think that he talked about that two-handed chop in his interview with the Panthers media. I mean, powerful guy, big, powerful guy. I mean, I definitely am excited because I mean now we're starting to add to that edge. We're picking it up. I mean, he's explosive edge. He's got raw tools, and he's a great value because if you look at the big boards, a lot of the big boards had him late first round, like you said. So to pick him up like like early to mid first round, I mean second round is a great value pickup.
yep.
Any additional with Mr. Scorton before we move on to the next pick, sir?
No, that was pretty much it.
All right.
Feel good
So then
about
we
him.
have Princely. So you and I, pre-show had a little bit of banter, so we had to go listen to one of his interview, and then right at the last question, our boy Scott Fowler came in with the pronunciation for his last name, and it's human Yellen, right?
Shout out
Human
Scott.
Yellen. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate you. Princely Human Yellen. And fun story about
You man
Princely
me
is that
yelling.
Princely, you man me yelling.
You man me yelling.
You man me yelling.
There
So
you go.
pick round 3, pick 77 from Ole Miss. Again, a freakish talent. The guy is like I think he played. I'm actually confusing my guys now because I think Scorton dropped a bunch of weight, so now he's gonna be playing lower. So Uman Mielen actually, he's already a lower, like not lower weight, but he's already kind of got that tighter frame. Now that's what Scorton just dropped down to. But now you have two guys that really are those prototype edge rushers. Now Uman Mielen is known for his speed and his bend around the edge. He will bring a bit of flash to the pass rush that has struggled to stack up against sack numbers. Manny Yellen said he has a similar game to all-pro pass rusher Von Miller. When he's asked right in his interview, he actually said he modeled his game after anybody, and the first name he came up was Von Miller. So what do you think about Mr. Uman Yellen?
I'm excited. I watched the video of the call that they made to him before they picked him. He was talking about, you guys are gonna have to pay me in the next few years. So
I love it.
This got me excited. I love the
confidence.
confidence. So I mean, a guy compared to, wow, I just had a contact fall out.
No!
Just fell right out of my eye. Have a guy, compared to Von Miller, that gets you excited because I mean, I think we all know what happened about a decade from now, a decade from today, decade ago today. So
let's not talk about it. We're gonna screw it. We're gonna just fly right past that decade, okay? And then you can tell I'm on virtual background because my hand just blanked me out for my background. As soon as I get my my studio set up, my studio area set up, I'm gonna get off the virtual background. But I am in the war room. We talked about this. I love being in the war room.
Oh yeah, no, we'll ride it out, and this is perfect.
Absolutely. So, Mr. Uman Mielen,
we love it.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at it. I like that we double dipped on the edge.
Double dip. We talked about it. We double dipped. If there's any position that you want to double dip, I want to double dip at edge rusher. Give us more bites at the apple. And that's exactly how I'm feeling. So then I want to make sure I'm telling the story correctly here because we had a little bit more movement. So the Panthers then made a second deal in the second day to fill a major need on the defense. The Panthers traded 85 and 146 New England for the 77th pick. That's how we picked up the Uman Mielen pick. With that pick, they took, go. And then we have 8 picks because we ended up netting one less pick on that one. So then we go around to round 4. Two of our picks in round 4. First one, yes, that last name looks familiar because this is the younger brother of a Travis Etienne. This is Trevor Etienne, also a running back. Round 4, pick 114 overall from Georgia. What can you tell us about Mr. Trevor Etienne for our non college football enthusiasts?
I actually love this pick. We talked about it. He's a violent runner. He was the primary ball carrier over at Georgia. He had a pretty good performance, I believe, against Texas. I think he had a huge game against Texas.
I think it's Texas, yeah.
And yeah, this one got me excited. I actually was surprised. I almost forgot about him in the draft, but when I saw that we got him, I got excited.
So I want to do 2 things with him. I want to read to the notes, and I want to ask you a super important question about this pick. So he is known for his speed and burst, and he has had a productive career at both Florida and Georgia. He also showed good hands as a pass catcher. Now I know that from especially his time in Georgia, they flew him out the slot quite a bit. So he's got really good hands. But the question I want to ask you, what does this mean for Jonathan Brooks?
So that's a good question, and I don't know. It's a little concerning for Jonathan Brooks. It's just tough because he hasn't been able to stay healthy. Yeah. So I think it's a big question mark if they are planning to keep him, because now, essentially, including Jonathan Brooks, that's about five running backs in the running back room, 5-6 running backs. So
yeah,
a lot of questions that got to be answered. But
I mean, this year I'm not as concerned, but I mean, because we have Rico Dowdle on a 1-year prove it deal. And I think it's going to be great because you got a 2,600 yards of production from 2024 between Hubbard and Dowdle. And then you have Etienne that can do some kick return work, obviously specials. And then, he can fill in as a change of pace. And hopefully we don't need him to, fill in for injury, but he'll be there for injury. I couldn't agree more. I think this does put up some real big question marks around Jonathan Brooks. I know it is super concerning, double ACL tear in the same knee for a running back, but I mean, you Panthers fans should know that we don't give up on guys that tear their ACL, a la Thomas Davis, number 58, the legend, the Panther Ring of Honor member. I think he's in the Panthers Ring of Honor. I hope I didn't I think he is. Well, he should be
I
if he's
believe
not.
so.
But either way, Thomas Davis, legend, Georgia legend. But yeah, no, I wanted to ask you that question. So we then move into pick 122. Now, do you think the Panthers have a type? Because when you look at the Lathan Ransom safety, pick 122, Ohio State, he looks a lot like Tron Morig when he's playing that box safety. What do you think about this pick?
I don't hate it, like you said. I'm not mad at it,
Right.
but I don't want us management to get too crazy with this aspect. And what I mean by that, as I'll kind of expand on that.
I like
I
that.
love the dog mentality
Yes.
approach that we've been kind of having since Dan
Yes.
Morgan took over. Bringing in guys who are gonna put their hats in on the ball and come up and make plays and be aggressive and be nasty.
Yes.
But really bring back like that fire, like make people be scared about Carolina.
I like it.
I like bringing another guy in like that, and you can have him be under the wing of Morig, given that they have that similar play style.
Yeah.
I just don't want to get too crazy into that, just because I mean I feel like it's still important to still have a drop back safety, like a free safety
I
that
like
can still play the deep ball, play the pass. Because I mean, more so, a safety is the deepest man on the field. Don't let him
It's the
play
ball
deep
hawk,
ball.
right? You want
Like,
your prototypical ball hawk. I mean, although Ed Reed was so good at everything, but he was, people have more footage of him ball hawking. Bill Belichick paid that homage to Ed Reed. So you want that ball hawk. I couldn't agree more. I love the dog mentality. I wanted to disagree with you, but I couldn't. There's nothing there. Like, it was great. It was great. It was a great take. So Lathan Ransom is a physically imposing safety prospect out of Ohio State who thrives in run support and the near the line of scrimmage. Standing 6'1" and weighing 210, Ransom has a muscular build that enables him to have physicality at the next level. His aggressive play style, high motor, and opportunistic approach to the game make it an intriguing prospect, particularly for teams seeking downhill box safety. I like it. I like it. So, no, you're good. So then we get into rounds five and six. We did not have a round 7 pick. We actually gave that one away in the New England deal. So now we have I messed up my slide. I left rounds 2 through 4 up there. Go ahead and yell at me, fans, that I have editing issues. I was having a little bit of a meltdown for some editing with my slides, and I didn't see the obvious error there. So that should say rounds 3 through 6 or 3 through 3 through 6, either way. So Cam Jackson, D tackle. What did you see out of that round 5 pick number 140 from Florida, sir?
So I'll be honest, I kind of tuned out a little bit
Yeah.
throughout the course of the weekend. But I did see that I just saw D tackle and I immediately thought another great pick.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know too much about Cam Jackson. I know that he is a big nose, like more of a nose tackle, bigger guy.
He feels like
I
a
believe he's
zero. He feels like a zero, like, so feels in that mold of like a Bobby Brown. See,
right.
Derek Brown, I think is a little bit too good of a mover to be a true zero. But Bobby Brown is a space eater. I'm not Bobby Brown. I'm sorry. Cam Jackson looks like a space eater, my boy.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we need.
Yeah,
We gotta I mean, our defense was dead last in everything, in every
historically bad.
facet.
Historically
So,
bad. Feel free to say it with me. Historically bad. It was awful. Go ahead.
oh, it was bad. It was bad, historically bad. Um, so I like the idea of us getting a big guy
Yeah,
that's gonna go alongside a couple of the guys that
yeah,
they just brought in free
yeah.
agency. Um, probably even just a rotational piece too. Like I
Yeah,
could definitely see him getting in the game,
yeah,
um, getting some good playing time, just bringing good depth, but
absolutely.
also just filling that run game.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm going to tell you. So he has a quick, powerful hands at the ability to shed blockers. Jack's the best as a run defender. He is dominant force against the run, and it is only due to his great length and strength, but also because he has tremendous awareness and is a run defender. Again, he's another guy I looked up a lot of video on. That's a huge man. He's just a big mountain of a man, and I'm ecstatic that we picked him up. I think it was a great time to remind listeners that we would love you to comment, like the video, right? Hit the like button, and then comment who is your favorite pick in this year's draft. All right. And then also subscribe. If I'm not mistaken, the subscribe link is down here, right down there. And it's a little light blue icon. Click on that for us, please. Everything helps. All the analytics. We don't do this to try to, become monetized. We love Panthers and we want to talk about it, and we want to have one of the most trusted Panther podcasts out there. We listen to all the big ones out there, and we want to do the good work as well. So we are just super excited, and thank you much. All right, now continuing on, Mitchell Evans, tight end. This one hit me weird. Mitchell Evans, tight end. It reminded me that we no longer have Ian Thomas on the roster. No disrespect, Mr. Thomas, but I'm actually happy that we that you've had an opportunity to move on with your career. Been kind of hanging on since the Greg Olson days.
I was actually
Um,
happy you told me that happened.
it
I was relieved. It's time. It's time, Ian Thomas.
is time. We were hanging on. It's like a bad relationship. Talk to me. What did you see with Mitchell Evans?
I'm actually surprised hearing you say that. I don't know if angle. I don't know if you were saying it was good or bad that we got him. I'm surprised
I
you're
was
saying that.
excited because I truly believe this offense can really run well with multiple tight end sets, that 12 and 13 or 22 personnel set. And I think some of your better teams offensively, they are going to be more dominant to be able to add an additional guy there, right? To get an additional blocker or to additional guy that can release off the line to catch the ball. I was pretty excited because honestly anticipated that we were going to go full Matt Rule and go full defensive draft, especially after the Tet pick. I'm like, okay, that means that we're going all defense. But to see that we still had some balance here, I thought was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I
That
love
was
it.
a
And
long-winded way to answer your question. Sorry.
no, not at all. Not at all. Um, I don't mind the pick. I don't really see him playing much. I mean, unless there's the injury bug in the tight end
Yeah,
room.
yeah,
Um, but I mean, I wouldn't say he's not going to play eventually, just not
yeah,
right away.
yeah.
I feel comfortable with Tremble right now. I feel like
I
Tremble's
like
coming
Trimble.
to his own a little bit. He was
I do.
more used as like a blocking tight end, but he's
Yeah,
kind of elevated into like a more of a receiving tight end.
yeah.
I feel
And
like
he's on a
he,
shorter deal too. I think he's only on a 2 deal.
yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't a too long.
no,
It
it
was a
wasn't too
short
long.
term
Yeah,
extension or
yeah,
re-sign.
yeah,
So that's another factor too.
yeah.
Um, and we haven't even scratched the surface with Jatavian Sanders yet. We haven't
Dude,
even seen his full potential. So
if we can get like a full season of Jatavian, especially the way he started, man, I'm actually really excited. So they said Evans is known for his size, blocking ability, and his hands catching skills. He projects as a versatile tight end who can contribute both as a receiver and a blocker, particularly in the short to intermediate passing game. And I mean, I just got to throw it out there. Another tight end that we know that was picked up in the 5th round is multiple time Super Bowl champion Noah Gray, our buddy. So I like the
Noah,
idea of tight ends picked in the 5th round. I do. So, but yeah, it's a shout out to our friend there. All right. Do you have any last notes on Mitchell before we get to Mr. Horn here?
nah, man. If he does turn out to be a Noah Gray, I'll be stoked though. We get
Right. I
a
mean,
little
the
Noah
upside
Gray
is
in
there. I mean,
Carolina.
Noah's already on his 2nd contract, so that's huge. But all right, so Jimmy Horn Jr. This was actually a fun one because I remember messaging you and you sent me the eyes emoji. Jimmy Horn Jr., wide receiver, 6th round, pick number 208 out of Colorado. So why don't you tell our fans here like what you thought when you saw this pick come across your screen?
Oh man, I was stoked. I think my shout out Isaiah. He actually texted me because
Yeah,
at this point I wasn't watching. I think I was watching NBA or something.
Yeah,
But
I think they
anyways,
were.
Isaiah texted me and he said Jimmy Horn eyes, and he's a Patriots
That's
fan.
right.
So
You did. Yeah, you messaged
I
me
was
that.
like,
That's right. That's right. That's
oh
how that
man,
went down.
I'm like, did the pass get him or did we get him? And I go on Instagram, and sure enough, the first post that came up on my feed, we got him. So I was like, that is so crazy because
Yeah,
I was talking about him in
absolutely.
the last episode, and for us to get him um, in the 6th round,
Yeah,
I was stoked. I loved watching Colorado. I think they're a really fun team.
yeah,
This guy was Travis Hunter's sidekick, so
yeah,
to speak. Um, he arguably could have been like one of Shedeur's more preferable receivers. I mean,
yeah.
I know he's kind of like to get the ball to all of his receivers, but LaJohntay Wester and Jimmy Horn were really good 2 and
Yeah,
3s
that's
to
good.
go with Travis.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. It,
Speedster, little undersized at 5'8",
yeah,
but he did take a lot of reps at punt return
yeah.
as a punt returner, which is where I could probably see him starting at least.
Yeah, I can see that. I think that's kind of they wanted to young up that area, like the punt return or kick return area. That I think that's where Etienne's going to also get a lot of his reps early on as well. All right,
Yeah,
so now that we've gone over our draft, so I'd like to do a segment where we talk about our draft grades, and then we'll talk about the experts draft grades. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this slide because it's irritating me to have the wrong rounds on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that, get us back to normal view. So, what did you give this draft as a full grade, sir? What did when you look from top to bottom, from Tet to Jimmy? What do you think?
um, I think we brought in the right guys.
Yep,
Um, I think we definitely tackled the needs.
yep,
We got Bryce some help.
yep,
I think I love when you asked me about an episode or two ago if we were still prioritizing Bryce Young and his growth development, and I think round 1, pick 8 answered that for us,
it
and we said that.
literally, that is so like this is why I wanted to do a podcast, because I feel like you and I have so many conversations of things that either experts bring up a week or two or a month after we talk about them, and I just wanted to put it out there, not for to for any glory, but I feel like the Panthers fans need people out there that really are asking those questions, like ball like we do and enjoy ball like we do. And it feels so good to put that stuff out there. So I'm glad you remember that. That was a great take back to a previous episode. Go
It
watch it if you
was.
haven't.
Go
So
watch it.
thank you.
Um, yeah,
But back to your grade. Yeah,
I'm really excited about the edge rushers,
yeah,
especially again, given getting to be mentored by Clowney.
yes,
Jimmy Horn was awesome for me personally.
yeah,
Um, More depth at safety.
yeah,
So yeah, I think we tackle a lot of needs,
yeah,
and I feel really good about it. Staff feels really good about it.
yeah.
So I will probably give this one.
An
Yeah,
A.
I can do it.
All
I'll
right.
just do a solid A.
I
Keep it
like
an
it. I like it. So I understand that there's no moral wins and there's no moral victories here, but there have been so many years where we've walked away that we had a strong first round and we hated every other pick, or we hated the first round pick, but there was a couple mid round guys that we really enjoyed. This was one of the first drafts in a long time that I can tell you from top to bottom, even if there was a couple guys that I didn't pay attention to Jackson during the college football season, but looking at him, and I think it's probably the only guy that really didn't hear because I knew about Mitchell and whatever. But going through looking at all the picks, I was so happy that it looked like we addressed our needs. Do we still have needs? Yes, of course. But I think we hit areas that we desperately needed to improve. And I think that we hit the wide receiver and went back and double dipped on defensive end and moved up to do it, to prioritize it, to make sure that those are the guys. But we didn't overpay. Like we only moved up a few spots and we didn't overpay. The only time we actually physically lost a pick was a pick to New England, and we lost a 7th rounder and like whatever. So we ended up with 2 6 rounders. Two 5th rounders, and I was completely happy with that. So
Yep.
again, not to get overly long-winded, but got an A for me
A.
too. Got an A
Let's
for
do
me
it.
as well. Let's do it.
Hey, Dan did his thing.
Dan was cooking. I'm still smelling. He's collard greens and cornbread and neck bones. I mean, he's out there killing it. Chef Dan just stirring the big pot of gumbo, like just killing it in there. So with that, I
We'll
wanted
do the
to.
gumbo. We get in New Orleans. We don't.
Oh,
want
no, I mean gumbo. My bad. The crab boil.
Gumbo's fine.
So
Gumbo's
let's talk about
fine.
what the experts graded us. So Bleachport gave us a B plus. They said solid foundational draft. especially early in the early rounds. That's fair. Underdog Sports, which this would surprise me, they only gave 3 teams. Underdog Sports gave 3 teams an A plus, and they said they loved the positional value and upside across the board. And then PFF, Pro Football Focus, our friend Trevor Sikkema, gave us an A plus as well. Efficient use of capital, filled needs without reaching. Sports Illustrated gave us an A minus. And then Old Man Mel from ESPN with the thinning, funny looking hair now gave us a C minus. Mel, kick rocks. How about that?
I got personal.
Yeah, this got personal.
I got personal.
Oh man, but I'm overall I'm very happy with what we do. The future looks bright. But what we should do is kind of the stage, because we talked about a pretty fun schedule we have coming up as our episodes. So next episode you'll see BC releasing is we're going to do kind of an update, but we'll also cover it'll be a segment where we talk about the undrafted free agents, the UDFAs. I thought it would make this episode a little bit too long if we try to cover UDFAs in here. And guys that might be invited to your rookie mini camps and things like that. But the fun episode that we're looking to do, and if we can get the stars to align, is May 14th. Mark your calendars. We're going to go live for the schedule release. I know we've known since the last game was played who we're playing, but I think it would be fun to know exactly when these games are happening. I can already tell you, living in New England, I will be at the New England Patriots game when Panthers come up here. I will want to see my boy Tet live in living color, bringing the whole fam. I hope you can join too, D, and it would be amazing to see that. But I really want to go over the schedule release and really kind of, talk to the fans about and then really go, hey, listen, how do you like this quarter of the season? What do you think about this quarter of the season? Where do our divisional games line up? How far are we traveling? Right? Like, I like all that stuff, and that's the stuff that we talk about anyway. So I think it'll be great for our fans to also hear us talk about it. So how are you thinking about that schedule upcoming, sir?
I'm just hoping, in that case, we're talking about New England. I hope we don't get New England at the back end of the year.
Could you imagine having to go to
we got to go watch that live.
Oh, and we will. And when we go, I assure you, there will be at least be some deals, right? And that'll remind me. Like we did one of our first reels back. We did one announcing the Tet pick. I wanted to do more, but it just didn't work out. But also we have our Twitter, our Instagram that we stay just live on all the time. And then we're going to be doing a lot more Facebook reels. Like absolutely. Mine's going to be right there. But we have our Facebook reels. We really want to make this thing grow. We actually just crossed the 100 subscriber barrier. We during our first iteration, we hit 100 subscribers. And we appreciate y'all so much. And then we've actually met a couple Panthers fans that actually live subscribed while we're sitting there talking to them. But then we gained a few more, so we're a little over 100 now. Looking to get that number up. I mean, if you know a Panthers fan, if you are a Panthers fan, if you just like football and want to hear a couple guys talk ball, please subscribe to our channel. We love what we do. This is a passion for us. Again, this isn't about becoming monetized or any of that crazy stuff or seeking endorsements or anything. We just want to talk ball. And we want to provide good content, quality content, and insight to the team that we so love so much. What I will tell you is that the fun part about what we do is that it comes from the heart. Like we guys generally love this game and enjoy Panthers, and we want to see them succeed. I mean, we'll also be the first ones that speak loudly when they don't do well. But I mean, outside of that, I'm pretty satisfied with where we're heading as a franchise, and I can't wait to start filling in some of this content. And honestly, if you'd like to comment on things that you'd like to see us cover, that is welcome as well. So please, let's if there's something that you want us to talk about, we can make an episode out of it if that works for you. Oh man, but I mean, Swift, that's all I have for this episode. You got anything for us?
That's about it, I guess. I would just say we appreciate the new subscribers. Appreciate all the support. I mean, I love getting to just come on here and just talk ball. I mean, I love football. Honestly, I just do it for fun. I think you and me get caught up in conversation all the time.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
Whether it's like a family event or we're just always talking sports. So it's just fun for me to get out here and just talk about it and share my thoughts. Just be raw and just unique. I feel like maybe I think that's what makes us a little bit different. It's just not. It's
Yeah.
not on a script. It's on a
No.
script, but it's not on a script.
Yeah, we have our show
Yeah,
notes where we try to remember to plug our subscribes, and sometimes we get a little corny with our cold opens, which the cooking one was one of my favorites so far.
the
But
cooking
I
one was
mean,
fire.
but we speak from the
Cooking was
heart.
fire.
We
Yeah.
speak from the heart.
This is so fun for me. I mean, I've been watching the Panthers as long as you've introduced me to them. So this is just another day to me. So if I get to share it with the viewers and you
Absolutely.
guys are enjoying it and you guys want to see more, then it's gonna keep coming. So
100%. Well, I mean, let's go ahead and let's not elongate this. I mean, I think we're going to come in as one of our shortest episodes since we've been back at this. So I'm pretty excited for the draft recap. Stay tuned. We're going to see if we can release a couple episodes this week, especially one on the UDFAs, and then the 14th is our big first live episode from even our first iteration. We never even attempted to go live, but we're going to attempt to go live this time. So please go ahead and
tune
mark your
in.
calendars. Tune in. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be a blast. I can't even wait. All right, for me, Big P.
Swift.
Hey, Panther Pedigree, signing out. Be blessed.
Stay safe, stay blessed, and keep pounding.